that's great here. That's good? Yeah.
I'm Jason Van Sickle from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, and we're here at the Pebble Beach Concours de Elegance. We have the Maserati 8CTF here. The Maserati's history started in Italy. Obviously, it was built as a Grand Prix car, ran the 1938 Monza Grand Prix, but its United States story, or its American history, started with a gentleman named Mike Boyle. He was a car owner, a winning car owner for the Indianapolis 500. Wilbur Shaw saw a Maserati run the Vanderbilt Cup race in Long Island, saw how good it was with a driver that may have not been as skilled, and decided that if he had one of those cars at the 500, he would have been the talk of the town, if you will. So luckily they had it in time for the 39 Indianapolis 500, which Wilbur Shaw would go on to win with this car. The following year, he became the first back-to-back winning driver, winning in 1940 with the same car. He was leading in 41, but unfortunately a collapsed wheel put him out of the race. He backed into the wall. It also, after the war, was campaigned for the following years. Ted Horn, who was the premier driver, he would go on to finish third twice in this vehicle, fourth once. By 1950, Bill Vukovich took his rookie test in the car. When you look at how long, the longevity of this car, it's pretty spectacular, and it's one of the more successful chassis in Indianapolis 500 history.
My name's Tom Hartley Jr. My business focuses on very collectible cars.
You know the history on the car? Yeah.
The car behind me is chassis number 3589. Only 36 GTOs were ever built. 8 of those cars were right-hand drive, 28 of them were left-hand drive. These are regarded as the ultimate GT car of the period. They were cars that you could drive to the racetrack, compete in, beat all of its competition, and then drive home again. They were the most successful GT car for Ferrari of all time. It's a car that was born in 1962. It was delivered to Tommy Sopwith's Equip Endeavour racing team. It was driven throughout 1962 by Mike Parks, who was a Ferrari Works driver. It had 4 outright victories. It had 2 class victories. It beat a hell of a lot of other GTOs in 1962, driven by people like John Surtees in sister cars, and just a hugely successful car that was built in a unique colour configuration. It's blue Scuro over a Rosso Connolly cloth and leather interior. When you drive a GTO, it feels like it's light years ahead. For me, the gearbox is fantastic. It's very powerful, it's very light, but it's the fact of how well they handle on the road and how responsive the steering is. They came only a year after a short wheelbase. You know, if you slightly turn the wheel, it is a real race car, it turns.
Come over here. Come over here. There we are. Hey,
This
what's
is
up?
way too advanced. What are you doing? Why do you have
This
what-
is a television studio in your pocket, buddy.
Yeah, but why you're monitoring?
Well, it's just because I'm old and I need reading glasses.
Okay, that's fair.
You know that.
no flat panels, like there's so much tension, and I love how the design comes to a peak right above the head of the driver and passenger.
My name is Pedro Vela, and I'm here with the Miles Collier collection that's housed at the Revs Institute. And I'm one of the curators, collection managers. We take care of the cars, handlers. Today we brought here our 1926 Bentley 3-liter. It's a 100-mile-per-hour Super Sport Edition, which they only made 15 of. This particular car, it's a one-off made by Serbico Coachwork, who actually was commissioned by Bentley to build this body for them. I think, the purpose of the boat tail in that time, they were still developing and getting to know their dynamics of cars. So visually, you look at a boat tail and you think it's a speed model. So it was just for very high-performance speed cars. They were just trying to make them aerodynamic visually, and then, less they resistant, they could just go through the air. And Serbico didn't keep a record of their color, for the cars. So the only kind of basis that we had was a famous photographer named Jack Bowers was commissioned to photograph all the WO Bentleys in black and white, though, from 1926. So based, using computer programmings and playing with colors, we came to the conclusion that this was probably the most close as we could get. And it was something that they worked with specialists, people that knew about the colors, and there was everyone became to an agreement in that this was probably the best.
car is a 1932 Duesenberg. It bodies by Ralston. We call it a stationary Victoria, which means the top doesn't go down. But it has quarter windows, which is kind of different from most Victorias. Usually have a blind spot there. All J Duesenbergs, except about 27, came with a straight 8 motor with 265 horsepower. They were the hot rods of the day. They're all custom bodied, of course. They're all very expensive for the time. You could pay between $12,000 and $20,000 for them in the 30s. This was like the fastest car of the time, about 120 some odd miles an hour. It weighs 6,000 pounds. All Duesenbergs have an exhaust cutout, which means when you throw the little switch on the floor, it routes the exhaust and the noise from going through the muffler to a straight pipe. And they get pretty noisy when they scream at high RPMs. It's a thrilling thing to do. I've had a Duesenberg up to 95 so far. And so I think this year on the Duesenberg Tour in the fall, we'll see 100. I'm not sure I'm going to see 120, but I think I'd be comfortable. At 95, it drove as well as it did at 70. We found this car, and it was a couple of shades of brown. Had been restored years ago. Lots needed to be done for it. And it took us about a year and a half. RM Restorations in Chatham, Ontario did the car. They've done an outstanding job. I'm thrilled with it. We were able to find the original build sheets for the car, and we found original paint samples throughout the car. We were able to match them. There's 3 shades of green in this car. The least used is this very light color. Interestingly, they did the brake drums in the same color, which is kind of different. As I said, we found all the original stuff and we built it exactly how it came from the factory. Every car that I've been involved with, we have done as it was built. And I think one of the things we're doing is saving these cars. And this one was quite a project. I won't get into how much it cost, but surprisingly more than I had hoped. But I'm very satisfied with it. One of the unique things about it, all the fixtures, the windows and door handles, etc., have cloisonne, green cloisonne fixtures on them, which is rather cool. And also, it's a fabric seat with suede sides and suede treatment on the door panels, which you don't see a lot of. And the other thing is, it had a painted dashboard. Most of them do not have a painted dashboard. They're turned engine turning. Car judged very well. We're very hopeful. Tough class. Everything at Pebble is challenging. But we're happy to be here.